Right, so everybody know we're being recorded now. So
We are, yeah, we are being recorded. So
Okay, good.
it is
Gotta
on.
keep my language clean.
that's it.
Yeah.
How are things a little windy in Burlington today, Michael?
Yeah, it was pretty breezy. It was really warm. It was beautiful, but
It's quite warm here.
yeah, I liked it. I got a good long walk in this morning and was, started off with a couple layers of jackets, and they were definitely taken off before I was done my walk.
Uh-huh. Hey, John Todd, hello. Pleasure to see you.
Hey, Michael. I'm Michael. I'm going to stay connected, but I'm going to turn off camera and microphone because I'm just doing a home visit, and then I'm going to pick this up probably in about 12 minutes or so.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, John. You've been in the same seat I'm in now before, so I
Sure.
appreciate you checking in.
All right. See you in a bit.
The good old days.
Yeah, and they don't make cowboy cookies anymore, so
You're right. That's what's wrong with the co-op. I was trying to put my finger on it.
if I could only change one thing.
Did you try the suggestion box?
When I left the board, I was given a serial subscription to cowboy cookies. Only thing is, it was only 10 weeks worth.
Yeah, well, life moves on.
Right. Catch you in a bit. Take care.
Hey, Matthew, as we're waiting, I was just looking at my notes of our prep stuff, and we had said you would be designating a co-host. Who's going to do that tonight?
Oh yeah, Michael, did you happen to talk to Carol about co-hosting or?
I didn't, but I can just give her a quick text or phone call right now. I think Carol's fluent with Zoom and is quite competent. So I'm going to.
If all else fails, I could do it, Matthew, but
Yeah.
we're trying to spread out all the different responsibilities here to cover our bases. Looking at Eva's image there, it's kind of like a still life.
Well, it's the back of my computer, not the front.
It looked like maybe a winter squash or a gourd sitting there. I couldn't quite tell what I was looking at.
Well, am I supposed to, are you supposed to see my face?
No, I think at some
Because
point,
it's weird. What you're seeing is the back of my computer, not the front.
is that the way you like it when you get on video calls?
Not at all. It's never happened before. That's why I'm wondering what's going on.
That looks like it's probably a setting in your camera.
Matthew, Carol Berry will be happy to do that.
Okay, great.
She's
There we
downloading
go.
slides, so she'll be able to put those up, but she doesn't have the videos, and she needs those.
Oh yeah, I think
they're early on.
I think we'll be okay.
Me too.
I'm confident.
Me too.
Yeah, the video files are very, very large, so I don't
Okay,
know if I'd be able to email them to her. So
be fine, Matthew.
it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody.
Welcome.
Hi, Eva.
Hi.
Hi, Janice.
Hi, Michael. Hi, Matt. Thanks for handling all this
Hey, Janice.
stuff.
I'm gonna do my best here.
Where are the kids?
Oh, they're downstairs.
Hey,
Running
Hi,
around.
Janice. Hi, Michael. Everybody.
Good.
Hey, Carol.
Hi. How you doing? Hi,
Good.
Matthew.
I'm roasting Brussels sprouts from the community garden, so I'm up and down here.
Hi, Eva. Nice to see
Hi.
you.
How do I get to see everybody? What do I do?
Up on the top right gallery view. Do you see that?
I see mute, stop video, share content, participate, and more. It's a mini iPad.
Matthew, got any thoughts?
Let's see. Eva, do you see
Other-
the? Yeah.
Other times when I Zoom, it's not a problem.
Let's see.
I
Are you-
Zoom a lot, but I don't know what to push.
Yeah, Eva, are you looking at the? There's a separate window that shows all of our videos. Do you see that?
In my mini, hold on a minute. In my mini iPad, I see 4 people, and that's all. And normally I see the full screen, but that's way down at the bottom. At the top, it says Putney Food Coop annual meeting, virtual annual meeting, blah, blah, blah. So how do I get that out and move other people up? I don't know.
Let's see. And I'm just admitting a couple folks here, and then let's see. We'll get back to you. So.
Hello.
Yeah, there should be an option to switch to gallery view. I think right now you're probably in thumbnail view, which
I've never, hold on. I've never had this happen before. Usually
Yeah.
I get to see everybody. So I don't have a thing. What I have is leave, switch camera, Zoom, mute,
Let's see.
stop video, share content, participants. Okay.
Hey, Matthew, could it have something to do with the fact that you're sharing your screen? Because I can't see gallery view either.
There you go.
Gallery view is in the very top corner, top right-hand corner of your screen. You might have to
But-
scroll up to the very top. It's a little tiny thing. It says speaker view or gallery view.
On mine, it does not say that. It says
Well,
mute.
like I said,
stop
you may have
video,
to scroll
share
your
content,
you may have to
and
scroll your
participants.
cursor up toward the top right to have that appear.
I don't have a cursor.
Are you on an iPad, Eva?
Yes, a mini iPad.
A mini.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
And I've zoomed full screen with lots of people. I zoomed the select, yeah, anyway.
I still think it's in
Okay.
the top. I still think it's in the top right corner of your screen. And does the mini iPad have any kind of trackpad or touchpad?
It's touch. It's touch. I don't want to take up the whole meeting. It goes like this.
Okay.
I have mute, I have stop video, share contents, which is in green, participants, and more. That's all I have. It's okay if I can't see people, I can hear them.
Good.
Even one thing you might check on my screen, I see where the videos themselves are. If I hover my cursor there, so maybe you'll have to touch with your finger, there's several options on what to show. So that's where I have my controls, is right near the videos themselves.
Do you have a mini iPad you're working
Oh,
with?
Totally different
Okay, so
system,
it's
but
different.
it might.
It's different.
Did you all already discuss the fact that when you sign in, you have to choose join with video? So if you sign out, you might be able to sign in again and then say choose with video, join with video.
You're recommending I do that I leave and
I was forced into saying join with or without video when I entered the meeting, so you might try to leave the meeting
Okay.
and join with video.
question, do you have are you working with a mini iPad?
No.
You got a baby.
Give it another minute or so just to figure out the technology for folks, and then we'll just
yeah,
start.
and just so folks know too, you know, we got a number of people on the call, and one way to improve these Zoom meetings is once we get the meeting started, we're going to ask non-board members to turn off their video streams. If you get a lot of people on a call and everyone's running their video stream, it can really slow things down. So I think it's fun to see everyone, and we haven't started the meeting yet. So, but once we get started, I think we'll ask everyone to turn off their video stream. And that might help things, Eva, at least for you to be able to see.
I'm happy to turn it off.
At least to be able to see the board members. So.
You want me to do it now?
Sure, yeah.
Let's see what happens. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, I'll leave it at that.
All right, I think we've got the folks we're going to need to have here. Oh, good. I was trying to look see if Pip was there, and there you are. I see your video now. Good. So I'll go ahead and start things off. Just really quick, I'll say, hi everybody. I'm Michael Healy, a proud member of Putney Food Coop, though I live up in Burlington, Vermont. And I was asked to come and just help facilitate this meeting. So I've been working with Michael and Matthew in the planning and the preparation. And tonight I'm just here as your friendly MC, just to keep us moving on our agenda schedule. As Matthew mentioned, we're going to ask participants, members who aren't actually presenting, to turn off your video and mute yourself for now, and that'll make sure everybody can hear the speakers. To note that if you have questions as we're going along, to use the chat function, and McKenna has agreed to keep track of all those questions for us, and then towards the end of the evening we'll circle back around and make sure that those questions get some sort of answer.
Can you explain the chat function, please, Michael?
For anyone who's not familiar, if you hover your cursor over the screen, you'll see at least in my screen, it's down at the bottom, there's an option for the chat, and it'll open up a separate box, and you can type questions in there. It'll say type message here, and the default is that it'll send a message to everybody. If you have a message just for Matthew, say if you're having a technical issue or something, you can try that. Matthew is also giving his phone number here. If during the meeting you're having technical difficulties, he'll see if he can answer his phone and move the slides and run the videos and answer your technical questions, all without even breathing hard. So thank you for that. Before we get into the content, is there anything else, Matthew or Michael, we should say about the logistics before I turn over to Michael to start the meeting?
I don't think so. I didn't have anything else. You, Michael?
No, no. My only.
Matthew, this is Ruby McAdoo. Can I just, if I can't identify someone by their name, I may need to reach out to them, and I will by chat. And if I still can't figure out who you are and I don't see a response, I may prod you, Matthew, to verify people before the end of the meeting, just for record keeping. And so we can send everybody a coupon for a sandwich.
Okay, I'm going to put it out there. I can't do chat on this mini iPad.
Okay, well, I know you, Eva, so we're good there.
Okay.
Thanks.
For folks who are having trouble with chat, I'll just say if it's not working for you, just hold on to your questions, and when we get to the end, we'll remember to make space for folks to speak up who haven't been able to use the chat. We do not want to lose any of your good questions because of the technology.
And we'll take care of those in the other business section of the meeting, as we normally do.
All right. So I think, Matthew, if you want to, I think it's showing the agenda, and then I'll turn it over to Michael to do the official welcome. So Michael Wells, take it away.
Greetings, everyone, and thank you for coming, and thank you for being members of the co-op. As you know, we have a gem of an organization here in Putney. And it's due to all the members, and all the members came before us. And we're doing our best to keep it rolling and make it better and better. So I really appreciate those of you who are coming in on this crazy Zoom meeting. This is a new one for us, certainly. We've had a lot of interesting meetings in the past 35 years that I've been a member. This is another one. So I would like to welcome you all and offer a toast. If you can join me, a toast to the Putney Co-op and all the members in the community in which it lives.
Yeah.
To all of you and your health.
Hi.
Together with that, we'd like to ask all the participants, all the members, to say something that you really like about the co-op and put it in the chat box. What you are most grateful for about the co-op. And then hopefully we'll have time to run through at least some of those, if not all of those, at the end of the meeting. And either way, we will post them on the website or in the store or on Facebook, or all three. And yeah, we'll take it from there. So the next piece of agenda item here is the Falk and the Brown, Carol and Lori Brown Awards. And Pip will take over here and explain what the awards represent and who Clarence Falk and who Carol and Lori Brown are or were. We'll see a video of the presentation of the awards. Pip, it's all yours.
Hey, Ruby, what is the plan to incorporate the video that we shot?
So Pip, this is Matthew. So I have the video all teed up and ready to go. I know you have some introductory comments in the video itself. So unless you had anything you wanted to add at this point, I'll just get those rolling.
Yeah, go ahead. See if it answers, what Michael's expectation is. I think it will.
Okay, just bear with me for 1 second here.
Hi, my name is Pip Bannister. I serve on the board of the Putney Food Co-op, and it's my pleasure to inform you of the recipients of this year's Clarence Falk Award and the Carol and Lori Brown Award. The Clarence Falk Award is presented to a Putney Central School 8th grader for academic and community achievement. It's given in memory of Clarence Falk, who lived in Dummerston and was associated with the co-op and the experiment for internet.
I'm gonna fix this here.
The selection of the award is made by the Putney Central School teaching team. And this year, the Clarence Falk Award recipient is Mackenzie Sullivan. The Putney Central School Middle School teaching team and Principal Herve Pelletier have told us that Mackenzie has been a member of the Putney Central School Leadership.
Sorry about that.
Asset Council for 3 years and always is willing to help. She's developed into a strong advocate not only for herself, but her classmates as well, and embodies the spirit of Putney Central School pride.
And I'm just going to take a moment here. So just to ask folks, thank you for turning off your videos. If this is for both members and also for board members as well. If you're not speaking, please also mute yourself too. We have a number of people on the call, so even a little bit of background noise can show up. So just if you can take this opportunity to mute yourself, we would appreciate that. And I'm gonna continue on to the next video here.
Hi, my name is Pip Bannister. I serve on the board of the...
Oh, there we go.
The Carol and Laurie Brown Award is given in memory of Carol Brown, a founding member of the co-op, and her nephew Laurie Brown. The award is presented to a person or organization displaying cooperative spirit in the community. This year, the Carol and Laurie Brown Award is being given to Putney Mutual Aid. Putney Mutual Aid, Neighbors Helping Neighbors, represents a group of individuals who came together at the start of the pandemic to help the community. This organization helps Putney residents with needs connect to resources that can help them. Putney Mutual Aid matches volunteers to people with needs, has assisted with getting masks to Putney residents, and helps with delivery of food. Putney Mutual Aid has many volunteers, but two of their core organizers are accepting this award today, Ruby McAdoo and Jamie Contois.
I'm Jamie Contois. And I'm Ruby McAdoo, and on behalf of Putney Mutual Aid, thank you for the Carol and Laurie Brown Award.
All right. Thanks. Pip, is there anything else you want to say about that before we move on?
No, thank you. I had some audio issues, but I fixed them. I hope everyone was able to hear that, and congratulations to the recipients.
That was great. Great to hear about those folks. And Pip, you are totally a movie star. Well done. And who's gonna introduce the staff appreciation?
Well, I will be glad to say something about the staff, though I'm just an observer of the staff and a participant in the store. Our staff is what keeps the wheels turning. Our staff is wonderful. They have stood up throughout this challenge of COVID, and they've kept smiling, and they've adapted, and they've kept product on the shelves, which is quite a task at certain times in this pandemic. So it's wonderful to have a small video or photographic appreciation of them. And I just want to give a virtual round of applause, first of all, to our recipients of the award, and also to the staff. And I'm going to roll a video here, which is coming out for the first time. Thank you, Matthew, and thank you to the folks, Ruby and Ellen, who made that fun video. And we are recording this, so I'm optimistic that our tech people will have this video available for anyone it's on the meeting now, or anyone that will want to tune into it in the future. So stay tuned, folks. Again, I just wanted to give another huge thanks to the staff for keeping the store running, keeping the shelves stocked, adjusting to new operational protocols, curbside service, and other demands while maintaining a smile, maintaining friendly service, and being there every day to keep our co-op open and our families fed. Thanks again. So that leads to the next agenda item, which is a brief report from the president of the board. So I get to continue talking. It's been quite a year, as you all know. We could go on and on and on about COVID, about the adjustments we've made, about the craziness we've had. But as far as the co-op goes, we had we're coming right on the heels of a large expansion and some turnover in the deli. And we had a really great deli going, and then we got hit with COVID, we had to shut it down. So we've had some challenges. We've had some personnel challenges. We've had some fiscal challenges, but the co-op's doing pretty well. The co-op's doing very well, actually. And I attribute a lot of that to the community and the members, of course, the staff and the management, and also the co-op business model. The fact that the store, the organization, is owned by the community, and feeding the community and servicing the community are really why we're here. We have to make a profit, of course, or we can't have a business without making a profit. But we're following a worldwide co-op model for running a business. And it matters. It really matters a lot. We're in business to serve the community. As part of that, we feature locally sourced products. We support local producers. And that's helped us have a reliable supply of food on the shelves even during the early COVID times when it was difficult to get product. We offer discounts to members who are economically challenged, and we support dozens of local groups and organizations, all of them worthwhile, donating food, staff, time, and money. And we strive to be a model business for the community and the members. And we're always working on it. We're always trying to make it better. But I think you'll all agree we have a gem of an organization and a gem of a little store here. Always hearing compliments from people from away who come and just love the store. A lot of people from away stop all the time from the highway at their little co-op because they become members. And that's something we can all be proud of. I guess I really just need to happily recognize our new general manager, Ed Powers, who officially came on not long before COVID started. And he made the transition from being grocery manager to being general manager, which are two pretty different professions. There's a lot more to being a general manager than a department manager. We had an extensive search, and we went through a lot of candidates to choose Ed. We did not just choose him because he was convenient and in the store, but we couldn't be more pleased with his work, including how rapidly he adapted to the demands of the pandemic. So thank you, Ed. We're certainly glad to have you on board, and you certainly helped the board do their work. So we love you for that.
Thank you.
I also want to say something about how our co-op is related to and works with and functions with a nation of food co-ops and a nation of retail co-ops. First of all, we're members of the Neighboring Food Co-op Association, which is a group of about 35 or 37 food co-ops and startups in the New England area. And we joined together, oh, it must have been 12 years ago anyway, to form a federation so that we could have better impact. And so we could do more together than we can in isolation, than we can alone. We're all independent stores and we value that independence, but we can do so much more by coming together, and we have. You know, I'd love to go on and on and on about the things that the Neighboring Food Co-op has done, but I'll spare you that this evening. You can corner me in the store anytime. We have done a lot for political impact to be able to stand up for the co-op model. And we've helped other stores. Basically, I think the best part of the organization is peers helping peers. Board members get to talk with board members from all over New England. Produce managers get to talk with other produce managers. They get guidance. And this is a tremendous advantage to our co-op. So again, we're doing more together than we can do in isolation and we can do by ourselves. And then, of course, we're tied to the National Co-op Grocers Association. We're an active participant in that. And that involves 300 plus co-op food stores across the country. We're fortunate to have a fantastic group of professionals that helps advise us and helps educate us. And that's called, the group is now called Colluminate, which has really been just priceless with their help and their help with our organization, help with our education, both all the staff and the board members. And so our co-op, I could go on, our co-op is not just an isolated co-op by itself. We work all the time with the Brattleboro Co-op. We work together instead of being competitors, and that really helps us all. And we work with a big group in New England, and we work with groups nationally. So I just, and all this is connected to the International Co-op Association. And there's just a lot going on. So I just want you all to know that and to be aware of that. That Putney is a small village and we have a sweet little store, but we don't do this all by ourselves, and we are connected to like stores, to similar stores throughout the country and even across the international borders. And then I just want to finish by taking hats off, saying thank you to the board. We really have a talented and committed board. We have 9 people who work to oversee the organization on behalf of the owners. In addition to monitoring the general manager, we're reviewing our governance policies. We're working on communication and member outreach. We've been working on diversity, equity, and inclusion for some time now. We're trying to educate ourselves and the staff and the managers and take small steps in this big piece of work that we all need to do to get rid of systemic racism and to make our town a better place. We're working on telling the co-op story, on shining light on the history of the co-op, and we're also working on board perpetuation and development. So that's what the board's doing, in case you were interested. The board meets every third Thursday of the month, and it's 6 o'clock, and you're more than welcome to join us. These days it's not in person, it's a Zoom meeting, but the meetings are open to any board member. Just let us know ahead of time and we'll get you plugged in. And I guess I'll just wrap up by saying thank you again for your participation in this remarkable organization. And I hope to see you all in the store in the not too distant future. Thank you.
Thanks for that, Michael. I love how you've attached what goes on in one small town to what goes on all over the globe. Cooperators everywhere. It's fun to be part of that. So as we mentioned at the beginning, if you have questions about anything that Michael said or what Carol's about to say in the financial membership report, put them in the chat. McKenna will keep track of them and make sure that we circle back around to them at the end of the meeting. McKenna, I'll trust your judgment. If you see something that's a question that would just be a really quick clarification or just to have something that was garbled that needs to be resaid, feel free to interrupt for that. But otherwise, the questions we'll get back to towards the end. So we're moving on now. Carol Berry, you're going to present a wowing report about finance and membership. Ready?
I am, actually. My job as treasurer is I get to look back 2 years and do a comparison and see where we are from 2 years ago. And as I look back this year, I am amazed at how resilient our co-op has been over the last couple of years and what we've gone through. And I think it speaks to not only the leadership, but the dedicated staff and our loyal shoppers and members, keeping us going through tough times. 2 years ago, at the close of 2019, we had our deli shut down for probably 3.5 months. And we had some bumps in the road when it reopened and then smooth sailing, and it was doing great. And then COVID hits and our deli shut down again. So when I looked at the numbers, it was pretty impressive. We grew sales. Our year ends at the end of June of every year. That's our fiscal year end. And the difference between ending June of 2019 versus June of 2020, sales grew, and this is where the deli closed, like 3 months or 4 months, I think. We grew sales by 6.5%, or we were up about $276,000. Our assets, which is what we own, versus our liabilities, which we owe. Our assets increased by 12,000. Our liabilities decreased by 20,000. So puts us in good shape there. We gained 86 new members this past year. About 50%, just 49.5% of our sales are to member owners, which is great and something we hope to keep growing. And we ended the year with about $50,000 more in the bank than we did the previous year. So I get weekly reports on sales in the store, and it's incredible how steady it has been. Of course, we dropped when the deli closed, but it has stayed very strong. And Ed is doing a great job managing labor versus sales. And it was recommended by National Co-op Grocers that in these times with COVID, that the best thing you can do is try to keep building cash, because we don't know what's going to be ahead of us. So Ed and staff has done a great job of that. And it appears that COVID is going to be with us probably into the middle of next year. Not sure what the future of our deli will be between now and then, but the grocery end of the store is steady and strong. And I have lots of confidence that when we close out this year, next June, that we're going to be in a great position. We probably will not hit the same sales target, but as long as we remain strong and resilient and can come back when it's safe to come back. So I am feeling really good about where we're at. And I thank Ed and the staff for doing a tremendous job under some really challenging times. And I'll be happy to take any questions at the end if anybody has them. Oh yeah, there's our second chart. Sorry. So this will show you every year we grow members by anywhere from 80 to 100 new members every year. And it's pretty amazing. We're at 1872 in a town of like 2,600 people. So we are doing great, going strong. So thank you.
Thanks for sharing the good news, Carol. Well, the good as it can be news, given the world we're in right now.
Right.
Thanks for that. And obviously you're reporting on all that work that staff are doing to make that happen, and members as the customers. And so now we're going to move on, and Ed, you'll have a chance to share your perspective on how it's working as manager. And congratulations on the job. Thanks for doing it. And tell us what you think about it all.
Well, I'll start with our membership update since we just sort of looked at that. I thank you for all the kudos and the staff video. That was really sweet of all you to do, and I'll make sure that the staff does see that because I think that's important to them. And certainly we're going to talk about the staff here really quick, but membership updates is one thing I'm going to look at. We just saw some reporting there of sales to members. We usually shoot for about 110 members per year as a growth, so almost a little more than 2 members a week. So we saw 86 this past year, and most of that was due to COVID, not having people in the store. So that certainly presented a challenge. We also weren't really able to run our spring membership drive, which usually happens in the spring when COVID hit. So that really shut things down for us, and we usually get a lot of members during that drive. So it was definitely a challenge to kind of keep new members going. The thing that was helping us was obviously, I think a lot of you have seen, new members, new people moving in the area from cities or wherever that may be. So definitely trying to focus on those people and making sure that they know about us and are that we're here and we're part of our community. So again, the number is a little lower than we usually shoot for, but again, I think during these times it was a reasonable number to hit. I'd also like to mention, if you have any new neighbors or other people you think might be interested in becoming a member, currently now in October we are running our membership drive for the fall, and there's lots of incentives there. There's a $75 gift card and other things, and the chance to be part of a great store like this. So if this is the month to do it, if they're thinking of joining. So Roundup update. I also want to give up. Roundup is money that people from the community donate. So if you buy a 87-cent pastry, you're able to round that up to $1, and that money gets put in a separate fund for local businesses. The board usually votes on who those businesses are. Again, we saw a little bit, because we didn't have as many customers in store and our curbside service was so strong this summer. It wasn't as much as it was last year, but it was $19.37 for the year. And that'll be split 3 ways between 3 different organizations. So it'll be about $645 each. The recipients this year are going to be the Food for Kids, which is the Putney Food through the Putney Food Shelf, Putney Community Cares, and the Putney Central Farm to School Project. So we're so happy to be giving those guys that support that they need so desperately during these times, especially. And that's pretty much the roundup. I'm getting into the store. I don't want to, Michael and Carol both touched on some things that I have in here as well, but just, again, I was a grocery manager at the store for almost 20 years. So I love the store, and I always love hearing from community and things like that. So, I really look at this past year as a big year of change in so many ways, and not just the obvious ways of COVID. We really had the beginning of the year was really a big shakeup for us. We lost Robin, who was our manager of 18 years. So, we lost a lot of experience there. We moved a lot of our bookkeeping to offsite, and So we had some, adjustments there to try to figure out, how that was going to work for us. But both of those things, especially with, moving bookkeeping offsite is a much better system for us. We're able to be more efficient, and we were able to move someone into an HR position full-time that opened that up. So that's Adrian, who I'm sure many of you know as our former front-end manager, who looks like she's on the call here as well, which is nice to see. And she's just doing a great job. And she does some bookkeeping in store for us as well. But yeah, she's really great to work with. And she's actually now our designated intern manager, should I ever be beamed up. Then, of course, I was hired as interim when Robin left in October. And, then COVID hit and the board officially hired me, I think, in April or so. But, COVID really changed our store in ways that I think even some of our parents have never seen, in terms of, what it meant for supply was a big issue that Michael touched upon there briefly. And as well as, just the safety of our employees, which was the #1 priority for me from the get-go. So as Carol mentioned, our deli did have to shut down for a few months, and that was certainly worrisome as, we just put a lot of money into a new renovation, and we were really worried about being able to keep paying. We borrowed money from the CF&E, which is a co-op fund of New England, which is a cooperative group that lends money to expansions like this. And one of the things that they did for us, and this is again another great example of co-op helping co-op, is they gave us 2 months and possibly longer if we needed it, but we just took the 2 months of no payments on that. So right there, we had, from right in the beginning of the pandemic, we didn't have any payments to make for at least 2 months. It really gave us a heads up for, save, like Carol said, building some cash and making sure that we were in a stable place financially. So, in terms of supply issue, we had this huge shift from people buying pre-made food to people buying groceries and produce. Those departments went up, I think, about anywhere from 25 to 30% almost overnight, and, so many stores saw that as well. But we, the biggest challenge was finding the supply. We were actually able to use a lot of I'm really proud of our management team in looking at unconventional places to find things that, such as toilet paper. Like we really never ran out of toilet paper. We went to other places and, they just did a really good job of sourcing as much as they could from other areas. So I'm going to still get into the staff thank you at the end of this, but that was a big challenge for us. Everything changed, and right there, our staff responded excellent. Let's see. So the other issue that we saw during this was the social upheaval that, again, Michael talked about briefly, but I wanted to talk about as well. The NCG the National Co-op Group had already made this a priority for this year to work on inclusion in our stores. And that's not just racial inclusion, but also financial inclusion. And so the board, looking at that and seeing what was going on in our society, really wanted to take that to our local level and tasked me with, really including this in our store. And so, as, we're presenting all these things and, you're in the middle of a pandemic, the staff has just said nothing but yes to me. They've been so welcoming new challenges and ways to kind of maybe take them out of the daily routine and the stresses of COVID. So Emily, our produce manager, is now our inclusion director in the store. She heads up a lot of the materials and work that we do on inclusion. And, I'm also with the staff. So we worked on this on a management level, and then you said, we can't just keep it here in the management. So we invited any staff that wanted to. We took an hour out of the day and had an inclusion meeting. And that was just the first one, sort of seeing what do we want to get out of this? What do we want to learn? So that's just another step that we're trying to take to keep that work going. It's an ongoing process. It never ends, but we're really glad to be able to, that the board is willing to support us in that, and that we're making, I feel that really we're making progress. I would also like to touch upon, like Michael said, the National Co-op Group, from the get-go of the pandemic, they have been so supportive in so many different ways, including finding sourcing for us. We're having trouble finding sanitizer, gloves. They were sending out daily emails. They maintain their website about, how, where you can find these things. We have a quick supply, order now kind of thing. And that really helped us. And that's just such a great example of, all these co-ops getting together and supporting each other. really the motto of, stronger together just really comes through there with Shining Lights. So, as I mentioned earlier, our roundup wasn't as high as it could have been, but I feel like we've done a lot more with what we've had in the store. One of the things the board really wanted to start tracking better this year as well is our impact on our community. So we've always done a lot for the community, but we've never really tracked it and kept, records of what we do. We just sort of let it go. So one of my big, also current item is the Empty Bowls promotion. So for those of you who've been into the store, it supports the Groundworks Collective, which is another food shelf in the area. And so far, we've sold over $1,500 in bowls. So right there, you are actually over, if you include that in terms of roundup numbers, from what we gave last year to the community. And we've also, from the beginning, when we started selling cloth masks for people, we've donated over $400 to the Putney Food Shelf as well. We take all of our profit from those masks and we give it directly to the food shelf. So right there, just two small things. And, anything that we do like that, none of this is possible without the hard work of our staff. All of these things that we're asking them to do when we're tracking these things and, when we're changing protocols for safety, when we're looking for new sources of supplies, all that is above and beyond what they're used to doing. And again, they've just been nothing but yes, and accepting these challenges and really moving forward with that. And, as much as you guys thank them, like I couldn't do this job without them. And they're risking their health daily, even today. It seems like it's been faded a little bit, but we saw more tourists in the store this year. I think than we really ever saw, and that scared people. So just making sure that they're safe is my number one priority in the store, and they've been so great about that. And just really respecting all the rules that we set up and enforcing them as well, which can be difficult. And then lastly, just I would like to thank the board. They spent a lot. As a general grocery manager, I didn't really, fully maybe understand how much time and hard work that the board puts in. And so, every month, when we have our meetings, I'm always impressed how much time they put in to work on directives that they're constantly, checking in on and checking back with to make sure they're moving forward on it. And, all of their decisions are really made with the utmost concern for not only the co-op, but the community and how they're impacting the community. And that's really important. Personally, the support that they gave me during this period, which, could have been, was basically the most difficult of times to have a transition, their support has been absolutely unwavering. And, that made me feel so much more confident and strong in what I do. And, I really feel that, along with the staff, like our board right now, especially, is really what makes one of the co-op in Putney, one of the stronger stores in the area. And I'm so glad to be a part of it. That's all I have to say.
That's all. That's a lot. Amazing, Ned. And to try to get a sense of like just what it takes just to sell groceries, just to make sure people can get food that they want, and all that goes behind that. So thank you for that. And thanks to all the staff that you're working with to do that.
Thank you.
So again, a lot of stuff in these stories and in these reports as you all are listening in. If you have questions or comments that you want to add into the chat, that we'll circle back to in a little bit. So thanks for that, Ed. And we're going to move on now. Peggy is going to update us on, we are in the age of, or the month of democracy in action here. And here's one version of that here for our food co-op. So Peggy, what can you tell us about this election result?
Well, first of all, I'd like to welcome everybody. And I'd also like to thank all the member owners who voted and the candidates that ran. And these are the results. So re-elected to 3-year terms, there's Wendy Wilson, Yitz Gonzalez, and Matthew Buckler. And filling out the 1-year term is re-elected is Ellen Strong. And that's it.
Well, it's a pretty straightforward report. Thank you for that, Peggy. And thank you to all those candidates who ran and who are now going to serve our co-op on the board. So thanks for that. Okay. So we're moving on now to the tail end of the agenda. I'm going to just check first with Michael Wells. Was there other business that you wanted to add in, things that weren't specifically identified? And then we'll open up to questions or comments. Michael Wells, anything else?
I just wanted to follow up with Peggy, Michael. Peggy, do you have the results of the roundup report for the year?
reported on that, so I can repeat it.
I'm sorry. I
But-
didn't-
So the roundup results are Food for Kids, the Putney Food Shelf, Putney Community Cares, and Putney Central Farm to School Project.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so any other business, Michael Wells, or any of you, the rest of you who had reports that you wanted to add in before we open up to questions and comments?
Well, we've had a lot of really nice pieces, little piece of feedback to our earlier question about what did the co-op mean to you? What's the most important thing the co-op meant to you? And McKenna who is our chat director here, is going to read some of them or all of them to us, and then we'll see if there are any questions that we can move along to. McKenna?
Sure. Hi, everyone. Okay. So let's read some of these comments. Really nice stuff.
Wait 1 second, McKenna. Peggy, can you mute your audio? All right, let's try that again. McKenna,
Okay. So first one from Noah. So excited to be with you all. I'm feeling so inspired by the Putney Food Co-op staff and board's clear statements on Black Lives Matter in Putney. Thank you. Sandwiches, the community, the friendly and helpful staff. A couple friendly and helpful staff shout outs here. I am most grateful for the staff who are working so hard to keep us all safe and staying patient, kind, and fun during this stressful time. Thank you. That's from Janice. Yes, important about the fun for sure. Let's keep going down here. Feels like a family when you're in the store. Lots of smiles and helpfulness. From Bonnie and Jamie, thank you for the Putney Mutual Aid Award and beautiful staff video. Thank you all for this work. Thank you guys. Emily, Ed Powers, and Solid Management Team, all staff, old and new, are so friendly. Thank you. Bonnie and Jamie, thank you to the wonderful staff for keeping our co-op stable and our community safe and well fed. We appreciate you. And I think that's what from Deb, I am so grateful for the co-op's resilience. Yes, absolutely. Thanks, Deb.
Nice. Thanks for that, adding those into the conversation, McKenna. And McKenna, did you catch, were there any questions that folks had that they weren't answered?
You know, there wasn't any questions so far. Ruby did ask, you know, last year we had an update about a project going on across the street with the Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust. And if anyone on the call right now is involved in that project and could give an update, that'd be great. But I don't think we have any board members that are still actively involved in the project due to COVID things going on, so.
Okay.
Thanks, McKenna.
Yeah.
That's great. I have a technical question for Matthew and/or Michael Healy. Is it possible to take audio questions from folks who may not have the chat capability or the technical ability, or must we do this through the chat room, Matthew?
So I think it's fine if folks are on the call and don't have the ability to type in a question into the chat box. You know, this is an opportunity. You could unmute yourself and ask that question. I just want to quickly note, Ruby had asked if I could just let folks know. I think she has accounted for all of our owner members that are on the call tonight, but just in case, if there's anyone that's if there are multiple member owners that are calling in on one person's computer, if you want to type into the chat box to Ruby directly, just to let her know that you are in attendance in case she hasn't accounted for you. Also during this Q&A period, you could also unmute yourself and let Ruby know. You can always email her as well at board@putneyfood.coop, and I'll paste that into the chat box here, just to make sure that you're able to take advantage of that free sandwich coupon. So I'll provide that email address in the chat box here. But with that, yeah, I think it looks like Janice has offered to give a brief update on the housing project. So if Janice, if you're able to unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep. Thanks, Janice. Go right ahead.
Right. So I'm not on the actual committee, but I am helping them with some writing. So I'm going to try and give you a brief status report. There is a small group of kind of a board steering committee that's been formed that includes some members from the garden and from the farmers market and a couple of young local women who have volunteered to be part of it. They have become incorporated as an organization, a corporation called Green Commons, with the help of Jeff, not sure, Goldstein. He's a pro bono, really experienced lawyer that's helping them navigate the legal side of this. Currently, the relationship with Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust is proceeding. The understanding is that when they close on purchasing the relatively 6 acres of land that includes the garden and the farmers market space, they will reserve an acre, 1.2 acres to sell to Green Commons. Green at about $115,000. That was the number that's been put out there. The Green Commons, the people who are kind of steering the Green Commons Corporation are currently working on establishing a 501c3. We're in the process of putting all that together right now. And that's how I know about it. I'm helping them with a little bit of the writing to get, nonprofit status so they can raise money more efficiently. In terms of the time frame, I think, the dates keep moving because of COVID. I believe Wyndham Windsor Housing Trust is planning on closing in October, maybe, with the Gateway Trust to purchase the piece of land. The community garden anticipates having a whole other season of gardening in that space. That's pretty much, I think, what I know.
Great. Thank you for that update, Janice.
Try to answer a question if somebody has one, but.
All right. Let's see if there's other questions. Other folks who are, oh, Bonnie, I love your special guest on your video there. There it is, nice hat. Any other questions folks have that you'd like to just say aloud as opposed to put in the chat?
Can I comment now?
Sure, Eva, yes.
Oh, okay. I'd like to make sure that we acknowledge Christopher Arian, who came up with the idea of Stronger Together and pretty early on put up that sign, Stronger Together, at the co-op, and then began, well, I think the first one might have gone to the general store, and then, I suggested, and they moved around town and they're up. And that was an individual in the community. And it'd be nice that we acknowledge that he came forward with that. The other thing is, it drives me crazy. The lights on the porch are on 24 hours a day. If I come in and turn them off, they get turned off. Otherwise, they stay on. I understand that people come in the back of the store and don't come in the front door who work in the store. But can't we turn those lights off?
All right. Call for turning off the lights. Thanks, Eva.
Thanks
for recognizing folks who remind us about being stronger together. Michael?
Yeah. So one other thing. Yeah, it's my place. I'm 79, the co-op 79. It's my place. It's the place I get 99% of all my food. And I'm so grateful for all the young whippersnappers and the older ones who work there and make it a safe, comfortable place. So it's like a home away from home for me.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Eva. We couldn't have a meeting without hearing from you, and I really appreciate your chiming in.
Good. Thanks, Eva. Anyone else? Questions, comments you'd like to share with the group?
Just quickly, this is Matthew here. I got a suggestion that we stop sharing the screen and give people an opportunity to turn their videos back on, and just give everyone a chance to see one another again as we're kind of getting towards the end of the meeting. So I think we can do that, and hopefully we don't overwhelm the internet.
No, don't blow our circuits. Nice idea. Thanks. Oh, how fun. Looking at all those faces. Thank you. Oh, it's almost like being together, isn't it? Almost.
I should have said one more thing about the Green Commons effort. I think it's a great name, but this isn't going to happen without community support. So if you're interested in supporting this effort to retain the space and maintain it, 1 acre of it, for not just a garden, not just a farmer's market, but for general community use as a green, please step up and volunteer. There's lots of little things that need to be done, and lots of support, and just the sense of community support would be really helpful.
Thanks. So we're in casual mode here. The business is done, but you all have set aside a little longer for the annual meeting. And so if you have other comments or questions you want to share with each other, here's a chance.
I just want to share a story that I forget who it was. Oh, there's a newer co-op who opened in Morrisville, Vermont. They're one of the newest members of our neighboring food co-op association, and they were trying to figure out what the heck to do when the pandemic first hit. And staff, this person who had worked at City Market in Burlington, was working with them and trying to support them, and looking all across the state and all across the region for co-ops that were pivoting, responding with strength and resilience. And she found Putney right off the bat. And she said, I cannot believe how exceptionally they've transitioned. I cannot believe how quickly they've gotten curbside up and running. And it rang so true, because we had, as a family with 2 young children, we had been using curbside quite a bit when this was first going down. So I just wanted to give that as a context because sometimes we just are stuck in our own community. We know we love the co-op, we know it's our home, but just to know that what an example the co-op is to other co-ops across our region. So just want to give you that shout out and recognition and appreciation for how cohesive and strong and calm and resilient you all were, and how much that's being noticed. So thank you.
Thanks, Bonnie. And that does tie to what Michael said at the very beginning of just kind of remembering we're part of this larger statewide, national, global co-op movement, and we rely on each other. Nice, thanks. Who else? That was a comment or a question to share. I'm trying to scan the pictures and see if you're raising a hand or something.
I think we have a very happy and content membership, Michael.
For good reason.
Okay.
Good. We'll give it another moment, and if there is nothing else, that is just fine. It is okay to be quietly happy, and then in a minute we'll turn it back over to Michael Wells to close us out.
I have one question.
Is that Claire?
Yes. I have to say I don't want to buy sandwiches because they seem to be packaged in such a heavy plastic. And is there some other way to package them? We all know plastic is such a problem in this world, and terrible. The ocean.
Feel that?
Yeah, so, that's really, I was actually having a conversation recently with somebody about this, where unfortunately one of the real side effects of this pandemic has been the huge amount of plastic packaging that we're seeing in every aspect of food service specifically, but even, because everything, has to be individually wrapped so that you're not having people touch things and then contaminating. The sandwich specifically, we haven't looked into in terms of finding a better solution. I'm not sure if there's one out there or not, but certainly I can check with the NCG on that. We do recommend, during, right before COVID hit, we did find out that we can recycle all of our salad containers. They are recyclable in Windham County. So we actually, I don't know, Kim, who's on our call here as a grocery manager, had set up an area right by the special orders for bringing those back clean. I'm not sure if we got rid of that. I believe we might have put that on hold while COVID was running strong, as it still is. So that's certainly something we're going to bring back, but they are recyclable packaging. So that's a start. I know that's not really the answer maybe you're looking for, but we're always looking for less packaging and less, and I think as we move on, we will see, once COVID is over, we will see less packaging overall, because that's certainly something we strive for. All of our silverware is greenware, so it's all compostable. And even our ice to go cups are compostable. So whenever that's available, we always try to go for that, even though it is a little bit more expensive.
Yeah, Claire, I think you're observing something a lot of us have noted, the amazing amount of things that are wrapped that we didn't used to have to get wrapped so heavily. Yeah. Good, thank you for that question. Thanks, Ed. Any other questions, comments? Ruby.
It's like Ruby, yeah.
Hi, Ed, could you share the planning around the 80th birthday celebration?
So we've been talking about that a lot of the summer. I've actually just ordered 2 signs from Will Parmalee that's going to be under our big signs on the side of each side of the building that'll say, celebrating our 80th anniversary, 1941 to 2021. And he'll have those ready in December. I actually just signed the check for him today. And so that's part of it. We're actually working on, our marketing person, Laura, is now working on some logos and things that we can incorporate onto t-shirts. We're going to be using, I don't know how many of you remember our 75th shirts, which I thought were really cute, but they were done by an artist who used to work for us named Gilles Das. And they were kind of cartoony through the ages. And so right now we're looking at a bunch of different things. We're looking at, t-shirts, hats, mugs. We also want to, Erica, who's our new front end manager, came up with a really good idea, which is in August of next year, I think we're going to try and do a large celebration, which should include music, some circus arts, hopefully on this greens that we were just talking about across the street there, because that's when we did it, maybe back in our 70th anniversary when I was there. We had a big party out there and it was really fun. And, food and barbecue. And again, that's all if COVID is over by that point. But as soon as COVID ends, we plan on getting all you members back out and seeing each other and celebrating as one together again.
Nice. We're all going to be so ready for that.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks for reminding us of that great celebration coming up, Ruby. Nice. Other questions, comments? Okay. Think that I don't see anything else. Michael Wells, do you want to close us out and call it a year until the next annual meeting?
Yeah, thanks for your help, Michael Healy from Colluminate in Burlington. Colluminate is everywhere, of course, not just Burlington. Thanks for helping us out. It's good to see your face, and I appreciate. And thanks for everyone for joining us. This is all new ground for all of us, and it's great to see you here, and good to see you in the co-op. And I hope to see you all soon.
All right, I think with that, we will call it good. Thank you all so much. Amazing community, amazing co-op, amazing cooperators. Have a good year. Hopefully next time we'll see each other in person. Matthew, thanks for running the show for us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike, thanks for facilitating this and for your leadership of the board. You're awesome, President.
Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Good.
Thanks, Michael.
As we're signing out, Michael and Matthew, thank you again.
Yeah.
I will sign off, but then I'll just check in if there's anything else you need me to do in terms of follow up. Let me know. That was
Thank
great.
you, everyone.
Oh, John,
Thanks.
Good. Good night, you all.
That's good. Very smooth. Oh, Michael, yeah, I think you're muted.
Allie, it's good to see you. Thanks for tuning in. A valued member of the co-op. I'm with you, Howie.
I'm gonna stop that.